Derek and I are up in the Wasatch Front Mountains in a place that, oh, did you feel the ground shake? That felt like seismic activity. The ground just trembled under our feet. Weird. Yeah, the main road over this pass over here, one of my friends when I was in junior high school, and he was an adult friend, it was my aunt's boyfriend at the time. He was coming back from skiing, and Bigfoot leaped from embankment to embankment practically over the top of their car, just barely in front of their car. He said he was looking up at the windshield at it, jumping, and there's some Indian trails up here where there's lots of berry bushes on either sides of the trail the whole way, and then this whole entire valley's full of oak. And so in the fall and the winter you have a lot of acorns. Well, on the BFRO website, they've also been reported a Bigfoot sighting. This one was in the wintertime, this guy I know, but the other one was summertime sightings. And then these trails up here, there's been a lot of Bigfoot sightings. The Trout farm is the next draw or canyon over. Bigfoot sightings there and down in the valley around that, so we're in a great spot. We're gonna drop off
structures.
Yeah,
saw structures up over in that next canyon over there.
We just saw a snap off not too far from here, so we're gonna set up some cameras in the area. A lot of people hike in this area, so we're having to get into some of these thickets and find some deer trails and stuff. But we're gonna leave some cameras up here for the next the remainder of the month and see if we can get lucky.
Look at this little bad boy.
But the road right down below us is where all the crossings have gone on, like silkworm thingies,
yeah,
or whatever. Some caterpillars making cocoons.
It's pretty sweet. I mean, there's probably 15 that we can see right there on it.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if a bear or a Bigfoot would come up and just eat that whole thing full of protein. And you guys may hear cars drive by once in a while, so because of the Bigfoot sightings crossing right there, we're gonna find a place. Two more little nests, right on the top of that one, right on top of this other one right here behind it. We're gonna go back into these thickets and see if we can find a place to drop some game cameras for a while, and then when we come back to pick them up, we'll show you guys what's on there, if anything. I think it's a damn good indicator where we need to go. See, I want a good thick tree that doesn't sway in the wind to set the camera off. Set one up right here. Got one set up right here. I'm sure you guys can't tell. There's an animal trail off that way. It's a very thin animal trail, but there is one. There's the camera all set, ready to go. And we'll come back in about 3 weeks to check on that. We're always hoping to get lucky and have lightning strike. Check out this burl. I thought it was a mushroom at first, but it's a burl.
What is this?
I don't know, whenever you got 3 leaves in a group, you're supposed to avoid them.
Yep. I'm just saying, it is all over this place.
I don't know if that's poison oak or poison ivy, but yeah, you shouldn't touch those.
Oh, I'm going to be living it.
You've already brushed up against a bunch of it.
No, avoiding it.
Okay.
It'll just let me know I'm alive.
That looks like a good candidate right there. A big thick tree right there. I like to pick big thick trees so they don't sway as much in the wind, because swaying in the wind will set the cameras off, and we're not up here to catch wind. We're up here to catch Sasquatch and his forest buddies. One more camera right here, watching this animal trail. And we're away from the, you know, we want to be respectful to people and not film people, and then I highly doubt that the Bigfoot and most of the animals is using the human trails anyway. I'm sure they want this really nice cover that we're in. And there's an ant's nest down here, I noticed. Food source for some animals. Someone had a campfire up here at one point in time. Alright. Okay, so there's one there. I'm not sure if I've turned this one on. Let me make sure. Yep, this one's ready to rock and roll. Did you find a place you want to drop that one, Derek?
No, not really. There's no more big trees in here. You know, I'm not saying that I really need that big of a tree, but it would be.
There's a thick one right back there.
Let's do it. And that'll give us a tripod.
I just hope we can find them all when we come back up. Derek and I left some game cameras up here that we're going to check. They've been up here several weeks. Because of the Bigfoot sightings up here on the North Ogden Divide and the Indian trails, we like to keep an eye on this place. So if we find anything on those game cams, we'll make sure to show you guys at the end of this video.
Who's a sugar maker?
I don't.
That's a 10-to-1 ratio to making maple syrup.
Oh, it is?
10-to-1. Yep.
You get ticks out here?
Yes.
Yes, you will absolutely get ticks out here.
I've yet to get a tick up here, though. Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not here. Yeah.
What about poison ivy?
I said poison ivy just makes you feel alive. I don't even think twice about it. I walk right through the middle of it and have most of my life. Buddy Mike's the same way. He's like, that just makes you feel alive. So
I don't want that stuff on me,
I
man.
don't know what the deal is.
I don't like it.
I don't think I've ever actually gone through like poison oak for them. But
I think it itches horribly.
And some bugs, huh?
quite,
It's dust off of aspen trees. There's a lot of bugs up here that start biting this time of night. And I mean, it's not 100%, but you get some of that on you, and helps keep the bugs off. And it also helps as a sunscreen during the day too.
has to be up and around this point.
Yeah, it's up and around.
I thought it was closer though. I thought it was right there.
Nope, it's up and around this bend.
Right here.
Here's Oaks right here, Derek.
Okay.
This interests us when we're out bigfooting the oak brush, because thousands and thousands of acorns sometimes in late summer, and as the fall starts to hit, notice there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings around this stuff. As a matter of fact, the Squaw Peak Bigfoot sighting 30 miles south of here, near the Provo area, that Bigfoot that those guys filmed, it stood up in oak brush. So, and it was during the time of the year that the acorns would have been full on. So yeah, when we're out bigfooting, we like to know where the food sources are, so we can keep an eye on the food sources and put our cameras in proximity to the water sources and the food sources. We got a camera probably about 30, 40 feet in that way. So I
And then
just wanted to
about
let you
another
guys know
30,
that
40
we're gonna to go in and or we're actually gonna retrieve that camera. There's one of the cameras right there. Derek's gonna. We tried
You know
to
what?
angle.
Probably right over there in that clearing would probably be better, because that'll set you up for both locations.
That's actually the animal trail. We were trying to angle it towards is where you're headed. Want me to film you pulling it off the tree and I'll grab the next one?
That'll be the first.
I filmed you in Mount St. Helens retrieving a camera.
That's right.
Uh-huh. I mean, I did knot that one up. If you guys ever get into game cameras, I would definitely recommend. We've tried probably 6 different brands and like those ones the best. Even though we're off trail, if you'll notice, you can see game trails. You know, this isn't human traffic, human trails, but you can see the game trails. And so when we're setting cameras up, we like to aim them towards game trails. You know, if Bigfoot happens to be an ambush predator, he may ambush along these types of trails or use them himself. And even with the deadfall and branches in the way, you can see where the deer have hit with their hooves on some of these trees that they've made their own trails with. Even though there's all types of obstruction, you can plainly see that there's a trail that goes through here. Do you see it, Derek? I don't see it. It's... Do you remember where I put it? You see it? I know we're close to it. I know. Oh, I see it. It's looking right at me. It's funny, a lot of people are like, you guys don't do a very good job hiding those, but we sometimes have a hard time finding cameras we set up. They blend in so well. This one, there's an animal trail right here, so I got this camera pointed directly at an animal trail. They veer off around this side. We point out the perimeter of it. I can't.
All the way up and around.
Yeah, and I see another impression up here. I don't know if it's the same impression continued or if the animal stepped twice there, but yep, definitely an animal come through right there.
And
that's pretty close to the camera.
12 to 13 inches long.
I got a
So,
tape. There's a tape in your bag. Let's measure it. It's inside the big flap. Right here.
Yeah, you can see it distinctly where the whole ground has been upturned.
Well, if this was a single continuous track, it'd be 18 inches from one end to the next. But it might be two impressions, side one above and below. But I don't know. Bigfoot does have a mid-tarsal.
12 to 13 inches just from this point here to about there.
Yeah, Bigfoot will sometimes have a ridge at a certain point in the track, and they call that the mid-tarsal ridge.
Mid-tarsal break.
Yeah.
You just never know when you're going to see something that looks Bigfoot-like. You know?
Yeah, not saying that's Bigfoot, but it's definitely got a good shape. Let's see what the width on that is.
I'll jacking it all up here. You're looking about probably 7 inches width-wise.
I can't make out.
Spot.
I can't make out the width up there at the top. I don't see where it stops and ends on that side.
I think it stops here. I think it's only about 13 inches. I think this is completely separate. That's
Yeah, it's hard to
just
say.
it. It's about 13, and that's only about 3 inches.
Yeah, I don't know what made that. It usually, when you see deer and elk, it stands right out.
I would have to say it is relatively close to our game cam,
So, yeah.
but it is bigger than either one of our feet.
We didn't notice this last time we was up here.
Nope. Never know.
I don't know, maybe it could be a badger. Something peed right here. And you guys see on the on these ant hills and stuff, you guys see the moisture right here. So we got a track right here, and it looks like an animal urinated right there.
See the darker dirt all throughout right here. Whether is it, can't say it's shadow, all
No.
throughout right here.
Oh, that's moisture.
That is absolutely moisture. Here,
You know, if it was
get out of the way.
if it was a badger, you would think it would be digging into these and eating the ants. So I don't think a badger did this. Something may have stood right there and peed right there.
I have to say,
Do you see any other tracks leading up
whatever
to
it was heading this direction.
This happened today because of the so if that made the track that peed right there, this is today.
Most of this stays in the shade pretty much.
So something must have peed right here before we got here. It was 90 degrees in the valley today. This should not be here unless it's fresh.